Hello, how are you doing today? How is everyone doing? I am on here. Come join me. Let's talk. Let's conversate. Let's get to know one another. And you can, let me know if you can hear me, see me, and let me know how everything is going. Um, the one thing that I did want to get on here and say is that I do have a website now, which is from www.fromthecrowsnest.com. You can find me on there, and you can also find me on Spotify now, which is pretty cool that you can find me on Spotify now. And I I'm glad that I was able to get on Spotify as well with my podcast. So now my podcast will be going on Spotify, and I will be you know doing that as well, and I will still be doing making my beats, whatnot, having everything to where it needs to be with that as well. And I'm gonna continue to keep doing that. And hopefully, you know, uh you guys join me a lot more on everything, and I'm able to influence you guys into following your dreams and doing what makes you happy. And hopefully, I can get you to do a lot more in life, or whatever it is that you want to do and proceed to take action on. And hopefully you can, so I think this is kind of cool. Right now I'm sitting here talking, I'm using my phone as a camera, and I'm streaming multiple platforms. So I just don't have Facebook going. I got YouTube going as well. So, it's kind of a cool thing that I'm trying to learn how to do with this. So this is how I'm going to be doing my podcast, some of them. I'm not going to do this every time, but I will do it every once in a while, to kind of, bring something in new. But I figured I'd get on here and kind of see what you were up to and get you to be influenced to talk with me and conversate with me. It's a cool thing, when you can get somebody to talk to you, and that would be cool, to have somebody, talk. I'm doing new things and trying new things, and making an effort, to try these things, and hopefully, it's a cool little thing that I can uh talk on here like this and try to get to know you a little more and what interests you, and pick your brain a little bit, see what it's all about, try to you know work around that. And I know, yeah, I know I'm sitting in my studio slash bedroom, and I know you can see my piano over here behind me. And yes, I do play the piano. Not very well still. I can play it well enough to make a beat and make that thing, to where I get a nice, decent melody that I want to go with my beats. So just know, I do what I can with it, and then I do have a beat pad on it, and I do play with the beat pad a lot to do certain things most of the time. But yeah. But what I want to know is, how are you doing? And conversate with me. Let me know what it is that you guys are up to and what you guys got planned on this glorious warm Monday. Since it's President's Day, the kids didn't have to go to school, and I'm curious to see what everybody's doing. Um, s- Persistently, I know that I am trying to get used to doing this a little more and more. Don't mind me. I'm messaging on the thing that I'm using. I can do that as well. Just do what I can to make everything work. So it's like, it's one of them things for me, even though that just went to YouTube and not Facebook. Hold on. So now don't mind me. Now I got to grab my tablet so that way I can, you know, message on Facebook, I guess. So just bear with me. I got to do this like this. I got to be multitask right now. And sometimes multitask is all right, but I get kind of distracted from certain things, and then my mind runs 90 miles an hour. I'm just kidding. My mind don't run 90 miles an hour. Yeah, kind of, you know, I'm working on certain things right now as well. Like I said, the website, man, it took me a nice little minute to do the website. And there are some things that, you know, that I do that I am still working on. Like this for one, like the video that I posted on Facebook, it took me like a whole hour and a half to do, and that's something that I don't really do as much. But hey, I like the way it turned out. And I guess I'm gonna start doing, the music with the videos, so that way like there's like a little theme thing going on behind me in that, so that'll kind of work out. And I oh man, really, I do me all the time, and I'm persistent on what I do most of the time. So I kind of try to do a lot, and I do get my plate full sometimes of doing what I do. And I know that I probably do way too much sometimes, and I shouldn't do as much as I do, but I do. It's my nature for me to do what I be doing. And it's one, like I said, it's just one of them things I do a lot. And sometimes I'm not even multitask. I just do whatever it is I do and go from there most of the time. And I just kind of roll with the flow, or flow, however they say that. But it's it's a cool thing. Oh, I done found the video so I can see myself now. Don't want to hear myself. I just want to hear it, or I mean, see it, not hear it. There you go. I just kind of said what I didn't want to say, but yeah, I I do what I can, with this, and hopefully, well, let me get off of that because that's messing me up, and I'm looking elsewhere, trying to keep it to where I can see it, and don't really want it that big because I'm trying to see the messages. And hope you guys follow the radio station that I have as well. Well, if you follow it, there's gonna be like a little surprise that I'm gonna do. So you have to tune in to the radio station at the website. to listen, and I'm gonna give you an opportunity to, you know, come and join me on some things and see where it goes. Maybe I might if you listen to the radio station, maybe I might give you like a time to go to a movie, maybe give you somewhere to go for dinner, or maybe recording studio time. You never know. Depends on what you do and how you do it. So, I'm kind of like still thinking and rolling with it, but if you listen to the radio station and you can tell me some of the things that you like about it, or you know what you don't like about it, there's always something in store for something. So it's like one of them things that, yeah, my tablet is purple. I do have a purple tablet. Purple's not like, the whole worst thing of it. It's just the tablet. But I hope, to influence more people to listen to it and join me, because sometimes I'll talk like on the radio from 10 to 11. I've been doing it only for an hour because, like I said, I'm still trying to get used to the radio. But the podcast, did enough of them that I'm getting getting to where I want to be with them, and it's a whole thing with me, to keep rolling with it. I'll eventually get to where I want to get with it, and hopefully, influence y'all to follow me more. I need more followers as, you know, it goes on and on and on and on and on. But I, I see that this thing is like nice. I see that, it lets me see my video, which is cool. And what I want what I want to see on here is the comments, but I can't see I can only see if somebody's following me. I can't really like, see the comments, not unless I'm on Facebook. You know how that goes with Facebook. You got to be on Facebook to see the comments. So, that's one thing that's spectacular. But yeah, I do have a whole thing that that I am wanting to do. I'll probably do another video before I get on the radio to do like a little surprise for y'all or whatnot, because I want y'all to be more interested in it and listen to the radio show in order to get to what I'm trying to do for you. So it's a whole big thing, what I want to do and what I persist to want to try to do. And it's a whole thing for me. This is all new. I'm gonna continue to keep doing what I do, and I don't know. I might do more of these. Who knows? It just depends on the whole how it goes. For now, I'm more into trying to get everybody interested in a lot of things. So that's a big deal for me. To get people involved and build a community where people listen to the radio and they're, you know, anxious to see what I got going on and what I have going on and what I'm about to have going on. That that right there is like saying itself that that would be like, cool as heck. Is the like for, everybody to be interested in what I'm doing and listening to what I'm saying and doing on the radio. So, it's something that I've been wanting to start for a while, and then I just now finally started doing what I wanted to do with it, and it's coming along pretty nice, you know. So I'm gonna sit back a little bit because I know that not a lot of people are like, not on here with me, you know. So it's a whole big thing. This is all new. I'll eventually get where I want to be with it, and there'll be a lot more content and a lot more streaming and a lot more of everything, So it's I just figured I'd get on here and just talk, and I'm just going off the top of my head right now, saying and trying to get people to intervene and chit chat with me on here, even though I know a lot of people probably don't want to do that and probably don't, they're probably busy. So, I probably picked the wrong time to do this, but I'm still doing it anyway, and I'm going to keep persisting to do it. So, you know, moving my chair up. I just now kind of noticed that I was too low with my chair. So yeah, forgive me if you see me just up my chair, and go from there, trying to get everything to a nice extent. I should have made sure all this stuff was where I wanted it to be when I started. But I'm just going with the flow like I normally do, Like it's like a whole big thing for me to get everything to where I normally, try to set up everything the right way. And sometimes it don't work out. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it don't. Forgot to lift my chair up, so you're probably gonna see that in the video where I just automatically put my chair up more, which is fine. This is this me seeing how everyone is doing and seeing what you're up to. Like I said, on this glorious Monday, even though it's President's Day, kids didn't have school, and I know it's like 50 something degrees outside still. I think, yeah, it's 53, and it's warm enough that you could probably cook out on the grill or something. It just depends on what you're trying to cook and what you're trying to do, and hopefully you find out what it is that you want to do, and you know go along from there. And everything's everything on a day that you have time to do something and you have time to pick something out. I'm not too fond of a whole lot of of this, but I'm gonna do what I gotta do to keep you guys informed on what it is that I'm doing and focusing to work for and work towards. So, like I said, I don't really do a whole lot of this all the time, but I'm working on it. I'm going to get used to doing this more and more. And then eventually it'll just get better from here. And there won't be no more distraction and no more less of anything going on, But I can't see the video while I'm doing this because like I said, I got multiple things running right now. This right now, all I'm using is just Facebook and YouTube to do my videos. And it's one of them things. Sometimes I might not even have time to do this half of the time because I'm a single dad and I got my kids I got to take care of most of the time, and I got to make sure I go downstairs and cook because if I don't cook, they'll just be sitting there waiting on somebody to cook, and then it's like, yeah, now that's just crazy because I got to go down there and cook, even though they're old enough to cook for themselves, but I don't think they really, you know, care too much about cooking a lot. And if they do try to cook, it's like more or less like noodles and popcorn or a scrambled egg or like even a my son always says he wants a omelet. You know, my oldest one, he's like, "Dad, I want an omelet." So he'll go downstairs and he'll attempt, to make an omelet. And I encourage him to try, to cook and this and that. And it's some most of the time he just waits on me to cook, literally. And it's like, oh, okay, so I see now you're waiting on me to cook. So now I'm the one that's got to cook. And then, it happens. Kids, teenagers, they wait on their parents to cook and they're like, yeah. They're like, it'll be all right. We'll just sit here and we'll wait because we know dad's going to cook eventually. If we just sit here and wait because he's going to give in and he's going to be hungry, then he has no choice but to cook food for all of us because he's hungry. But yeah, May, I mean, if you got teenagers or you got kids, you know how kids are. They're like, yeah, they're like straight up, like with it. They're like, yeah, they're like dad or mom will just sit here and wait for them to cook, and they'll end up, going downstairs and cook if we just sit here long enough and wait and be persistent and patient for them to cook. Like just a few minutes ago before I started this, I asked I'm gonna say like 21 minutes ago, I asked my oldest son what he wanted for dinner, and at first he was like pizza, and then he kind of changed his mind and he's like nachos. And then I asked him again, and he was like, I want pizza. I was like, didn't I just ask you that? You told me you wanted nachos. He was like, I want pizza. I was like, all right, whatever. It's one of them days for them, they eat. So eventually, what I do with that is I'll go get pizza, and then I'll turn around and then I'll get them to watch a movie with me since I got to go out and get pizza and make this pizza. So you know how that goes. I'm gonna do the pizza thing for them, or maybe I don't know. It'd be nice if they had like a taco pizza at Walmart that you could buy. Maybe just get a cheese pizza and just put the rest of the stuff on it and make your own taco pizza. But I think there'd be like too much red sauce on there to make your own taco pizza. But it's all good. We can always throw some cut up ham on it and pineapple. Make a ham and pineapple pizza. A lot of people don't like ham and pineapple pizza for some reason. They think it's disgusting. And I think ham and pineapple belong together on a pizza. It's good. I like it. I enjoy ham and pineapple pizza. And I mean, I think it's really good. There's a lot of pizza that I like to eat. So, like, ham and pineapple pizza is one of them. And then a pizza with just nothing but veggies on it. I love that too. That's like, the tip of the iceberg for me is to have a veggie pizza. And I do eat meat. Yes, I do eat meat. I eat a lot of meat. Yeah, so I have multiple platforms you can follow me on. So Facebook you can follow me on, YouTube you can follow me on. I have Snapchat, I have Instagram. So you can follow me on them platforms if you want. And all you gotta do is just type in my real name and I'll pop up. And most of you just gotta look at my Facebook or, I'll just tell you. I was gonna make you guess, but it's not fair. Michael Crow Sr. is my Instagram. DJ Crow is my YouTube. And my Facebook is Michael Crow Sr. And you'll be able to find the other pages that I have on there as well through that name. And if you can't find me through Michael Crow Sr. on Facebook, just type in DJ Crow and it'll pop up. I noticed that some people have trouble finding me because, they'll have to type in like DJ Crow in order to find me on Facebook sometimes. And I'm like, how is that even, how's that supposed to be like that? Why is it even like that? But who knows? It's just one of them things, I guess. And then Spotify, which, like I said, I got Spotify now, which is pretty cool. I was, I was like, I'm using this app called Anchor, and what I do is I just take and after I record the podcast episode that I want to do, I take and upload it to that, and then I'll put like some theme music to it, and then I'm able to take and send it to Spotify, which is pretty cool. I noticed that there are a lot of people that have like similar names to the name that I have chose, but not every one of them has an E at the end of it like mine does. So, my last name is Crow, but a lot of people get confused with that E being at the end, and they'll be like, so your name is Crowy? I'll be like, no, man. I'll be like, it's Crow. And they'll be like, no, it's Crowy. And I've argued with somebody over this before. And I'm like, no, man, it's Crow. And they're like, really? They're like, so it's Crow. So why do you have an E at the end of it? I was like, it has an E at the end of it because it's silent, just like EIOU. So, a lot of people argue with me about my last name being Crowy, but it's Crow. The E is silent. It's just Crow, but it just has an E because I guess that's how our last name just is. And there's a lot of people that have their last name spelled the same way as ours, and there ain't no telling how they pronounce their last name, as well as how I pronounce mine. I pronounce mine as Crow. Just because there's an E at the end of it doesn't mean that it's Crowy. It's Crow. The E is silent. And here, that's why we have vowels, And like I said, them vowels go at the end of people's name all the time. So, that's one thing that you can know about me is my last name ain't Crowy, it's Crow. So just make sure when you say my name is Crow, it's not Crowy. It's Crow. The E is just silent. And I asked my grandpa and my dad about that, you know, a lot when I was growing up. I was like, why does our last name have an E? Well, they're like, because the E is supposed to be silent. And I was like, oh, okay, well, that's cool. I was like, I'm going to stop asking then. But the only thing that's funny about me growing up with my grandpa being around, which, my grandpa, man, I got to give my grandpa credit. My grandpa used to come pick me up every day in the summer, and he'll take me to go ride. He'll come over on his motorcycle, and we always took a cruise on the motorcycle. And I'd be like, I think I was in between the ages of 6 and 7 when I rode on the motorcycle with him all the time. And man, I enjoy motorcycles. Don't get me twisted. I love motorcycles. And here I like his motorcycle more because he's got it all souped up, and he's got one that's like stripped down, and then he's got one fully coated, which I like both of them. Even though he's not a Harley rider, he's a Kawasaki rider, and he has the old school Kawasaki's. So he has like the Kawasaki 1300s. Man, them things are fast, and they got good engines on them. But his one that's stripped down don't have like all the fully coated stuff on it. But the one that's stripped down, man, he did a lot of work to that thing. That thing is fast. I can tell you that for a fact. I've seen that thing roll. Man, that thing is fast. That's one motorcycle that I would like to ride one day and see how fast it really goes. But I mean I like motorcycles, but I'm more of a dirt bike rider than I am a motorcycle rider. And like I'm a four-wheeler dirt bike rider. I'll ride dirt bikes and four wheelers before I ride, a motorcycle because I like dirt bikes. Dirt bikes are pretty fast and cool too, But only you get to fling mud around on a dirt bike. Come on now, who wouldn't want to fling mud around by doing a circle in the mud? I just think that'd be cool to do. It's just something that's awesome. I think riding a dirt bike in the mud and splashing water and mud everywhere is cool as heck. Even mudding in trucks is pretty cool. I like to, do that eventually one of these days. I haven't yet. I mean, I got a pickup truck. It's just I don't know how well Chevys would run through mud. And I know if like it's flooded and you go to run through something with a Chevy and you stop or slow down, it floods the engine out. And I wouldn't want to flood my engine out on my Chevy. I love my Chevy Silverado. Who don't love Silverados, I love Silverados. And here I have a Silverado and a GMC, and I like the GMC too, which I know my Chevy's a GM, but I love my Chevy Silverado. That's just one truck I love. And it's an extended cab too. Woo, with the 8-foot bed. Come on now. I can go camping and sleep on the back of that thing, just pop a tent up. Oh yeah. And here I mean I can't say nothing. I'm from Kentucky, so I love trucks. That's just like me being in touch with my southern self, I love trucks. That's why I got two of them. One's not a whole truck. One's just, an SUV, but got a truck. I love trucks. I even I had some Chevy like floor mats for it and all that, but me moving around over time I lost them somewhere. But I intend on putting more Chevy stuff back in my blue truck. I love my blue truck. I need to, even though it's loud, that thing right there makes a lot of noise when you start it up. So when you start, it'd be like, and I don't think a lot of people like it where I live when I start that thing up because it's loud, and then especially it gets louder when you go to drive and you put your foot on the pedal. It's like down the road. So like I said, it's a whole big thing. I love my truck. I love the SUV too because it has a lot of room in it. It has a third row seat too as well. And my oldest son loves to sit way in the back. I'm like, man, why do you always sit back there? But he sits back there because there's nobody sitting next to him. And then my youngest one's sitting behind me, and there's nobody sitting next to him. So they have room to put like, a computer right there and play a video game or whatever it is that they're trying to play at the time. But it's all cool. I mean, if that's what they like doing, that's what they like doing. So I'm gonna have to take and get like since they have like the little computers and little gaming systems. I'm thinking about taking and getting some movies put on there for them or buy them. Well, I mean, I have the DVD players that go inside the car, and I have the screen, but the screen don't work. So I'll just probably just hook up the little monitor screens for them or whatever, and just go from there. It's one of them things that people like. You know, I don't know. My kids they like playing video games a lot. So my oldest son, normally when we go out of town, he'd be like, "Can I take my PlayStation 4?" Because I haven't gotten to the point where I wanted to buy him a PS5 yet. Because I noticed that it's better to wait for a while before you buy stuff like that and let everything go through its process. Because you never know if there might be a recall on it or whatnot. Which that happened with the PS4 when they first came out. There was a recall on certain ones, and then they came out with a new one after that, and then I was like, cool, I'll wait. see how this one works out, and then eventually they worked out, so I went and got one of them. So now, technically, I have one for each one of my oldest ones, a PS4 and then an Xbox One, which I barely play my Xbox, but I probably should start playing it more. I probably do need to play it more, but I don't. So I mean, if you're into video games and you want to play a game, just let me know. It's easy to find me on there. You'll be able to find me real quick. All you gotta do is type in Crow and then SR1, and then you'll find me on Xbox. Or just type in my name and you'll find me. It's not hard to find me on Xbox. That's probably the only thing that's easy to find me on is the Xbox. And normally when I'm on it, I'll play like I got some games that I do play. So like right now I do got that Cold War. I haven't played it yet, which I might end up playing that sometime today or tomorrow, just depending on what how I feel. I'm not, you know, one of them people that are constantly on a video game all the time. It's not, something that I'm passionate about when it comes to certain things, but I do play video games every once in a while, but not as much as most people would think that I play. And then, there's one other thing, is like, I could be sitting here and I have like, messages on TikTok. There'll be these women that I'm assuming that have fake profiles, and I know most of them are fake profiles. They'll be sitting there, and then they'll start messaging you, and then they'll be like, "What are you looking for?" And then I always tell them, "I'm not looking for anything. The only thing I do on here is just post videos." And the same goes for Instagram. They do that on Instagram, and I'm like, man, I'm not, I'm not here. This ain't a dating site. This is a social media app. I'm like, the only thing I do on here is just post stuff and videos and, comment on other people's stuff. So why would you even be like asking me? And then I just block them. I just block them. Just take them off and just block them because it's like, this is a social media app. This is for commenting on stuff and posting stuff. Why would I be, wanting to conversate with you, and what makes you think that I'm ready to date and I want to date? And so I just block them. I don't even answer it after that. As soon as they say, "What are you looking for in a woman?" I just block them. Like, forget that. Hold on, let me see what's going on here. Hello. Hey, hold on. Let me call you back. Oh, what's up? Oh, I can't hear you. Sorry about that. A little interruption and confusion on what I'm doing. little little interruption and confusion and a little interference. Oh man, that kind of had a little too much interference. So what? Uh, oh, okay, okay. Um, so so I'm trying to get people more invested into listening to my radio station, even though I know I've just been sitting here rumbling on. And, really, I mean, if you talk to me and strike a conversation with me, I'll be able to, like, persist on coming up with better things to talk about. It's easier for me to sit here and be like, well, come join me and talk with me. I've just been sitting here rumbling on about things. You know, I mean, I would turn around and start playing the piano, but I don't think you're gonna be able to hear it not unless I have it connected to this, and I don't have it connected to this. So yeah, that's like something that I haven't even considered thinking about doing yet. And I probably should, but I haven't been like, persistent with certain things to doing that and wanting to have that, to where I want it to be like that. But I might, I probably just, well, technically, what I should probably do is and take and probably add one of my beats to this. So the whole time I'm talking, my beats be playing. One of my beats will be playing, and I think that that's something that'd be cool to do. Even though I'm still, like I said, I'm still learning how to use this, and I'm still getting to like everything on this. So pretty much, basically, what it will be is I would like to have a whole video with other people on here and talking to them while I'm doing this as well. But I haven't did that yet, and I should probably get to where I can do it and should do it. But it takes for me to get people to be a guest and want to talk on the radio with me, do a podcast with me, or do a video like this with me, and that would be cool. That's something that I would enjoy doing, is being able to get people invested in being a guest on my shows and on my radio shows. That's something that I'm more empowered to like encourage y'all to do with me, and hopefully I can get y'all to want to do that with me. I'd be mighty, mighty, mighty in gratitude if you wanted to be a guest on either the radio show, podcast, or the podcast videos that I'm gonna start doing. It's up to you which one you want to do. So, you just gotta reach out and message me. That's all you gotta do is just message me and be like, hey, this is the day that I'm free. I would like to do a podcast with you or talk on the radio with you. And here, like I said, I got two mics, so I can set you up to where you can be seen on the video, or we can just talk on the radio and have a great conversation. That's all it takes is for you to shoot me a message and say something to me, and then we can go ahead and make this thing happen. And technically, all I can tell you is you would have to pick a day that's good for you. I can't. I'm always able to make free time when I can. And if I don't have free time, I will say something like that day won't work, pick another day, please. But, most of the time, I have plenty of time to do it because really the only thing I do is I'll come home, I'll set up and do certain like things to make content. And for all you know, most of the stuff that I ramble on about on my podcast, I might just be, you know, making it seem that way. But you won't know until you actually, join me on one and find out what it is that I like to do with them and what I bring up when I do them. And I know the one that I did have where I had the other guys with me, Matt, Zane, I actually asked them questions of how they got into how they got into music and wanting to record, and how Matt is a promoter. So yeah, and then I need to get B Diz on here is what it is I need to do. I need to get him on here because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be doing videos like this, and I wouldn't be talking like this, and I wouldn't push myself a little further to like getting better at making beats as well and learning how to do all this stuff on the computer. If it wasn't for him, I technically, wouldn't have been doing stuff like this. And I owe him like a great deal of gratitude for, encouraging me to come up out of the shell to do stuff like this. You know, I normally wouldn't have did anything like this. I mean, I probably would have did like a 5 little minute second, you know, little video on Facebook Live, and then that would have been it, and then I would have erased it. But you know, I'm like I said, this is like, you know, something that I can actually appreciate him for getting me into doing, and then I am grateful for everybody else for telling me they like my music and encouraging me to keep going on that as well. And you know, my mom, I can't say she's so thrilled that you know I do music podcast and now I'm doing the videos. I did do the videos at one point at some time, but she was like, she's like, you get on there, you're not really talking about anything. You're just mumbling on and rumbling. And I was like, well, you know what? If you don't like it, don't listen. But you know how parents are. But on the other hand, my dad and my grandfather, they're like, man, keep doing you. And my dad, he encourages me to do a lot of the stuff that I'm doing, you know. And he's always, you know, been there to encourage me. Like even from the first day when I started playing sports, my dad would always tell me, be like, oh yeah, you want to play football, huh? I'd be like, yep, I'm gonna play football. I played football all the way through high school until probably my junior and senior year, and then I was like, nah, I need a different sport to do, and then I ended up going to boxing, doing Golden Gloves for a while until I had my oldest son, and then before that though, it was like little pee wee base. It was little league baseball, and then after little league baseball, it went from that to soccer, from soccer to hockey, and then from hockey to football. Well, no, I take that back. Basketball before football, and then it went to basketball, and then it came from basketball to football, and then from football to boxing. So you know, I've I've did a lot of sports, and it's like wow, it's like I really like sports. Don't get me wrong. I think I stuck with football a little bit longer than I did baseball, soccer, hockey. Hockey's pretty cool, except for you like and all the slamming against the ice and getting ran into the glass. It's fun until you get hurt when you're a kid. So I even did uh little league wrestling. That was fun. Now that one I really really had fun doing. When I did that, I was like, yeah. But see, I mean the only thing that I kind of hated about it was that I had a friend that was doing it too, and I was pretty good. I was about to win, but I was like, man, I didn't go all the way through with my friend, so I let him pin me, and I let him win when I could have won. And I didn't. I should have, but I didn't. I was like, man, I was like, I know my friend wasn't like he was good enough to make it up to where I was, but I wouldn't felt right, pinning him and him not being able to win. And here, I mean, I won all my matches the whole time that I did the little league wrestling. It's a whole big thing. It's it was fun. I did a lot of sports. I really did. The only sport that I didn't do, I can say that I probably haven't tried. Well, I mean, I played golf, not like for like a league or anything. I just played as a normal person, which I'm not very good at golf. And then I had I haven't did the swim team, haven't did that one. And then there's some other sports. I'm pretty sure like polo, cricket, rugby. I've never did none of those, but eventually one day I might try before I get too old. I'm not that old. I mean, I might look older than what I look, but I'm really not that old. I'm probably younger than most people, and you probably think I'm old just because I got gray hair. And don't get it confused. I mean, my skin's not wrinkly yet, So that should kind of tell you something. I'm not, you know, I'm not as young and I'm not as old as you think I am. I'm pretty in between, but that depends on you. And if you think that I'm that old, then you're probably wrong on whatever age it is that you think I am. So just don't. I wouldn't even try to guess. I would just ask me because I've had people guess, and only one person got it right when I had asked on Facebook one time because a lot of people think that I'm like 40 and I'm not. I'm not even. I'm not even there yet. I'm really not. I'm not even 40. I say I'm close, but not close. But I'm still young. Just to be saying, this, just know I'm still able to climb up and down my own stairs without my back and my legs aching. And I can get up out of bed just fine. I'm just saying, just letting you know. Even if I was 40, I mean, I still be able to get up and down my stairs and out of my bed just fine. Which, I mean, my bed's up pretty high up off the ground. So even if I had to get out of bed, I'd just roll out of it. And then I'd be kind of just let my legs dangle. But I'm tall enough that, I level out with the bed and the floor. So I'd be able to get in and out of bed with no problem. So that'd be just like amazing for me, but probably not so well for others that are shorter than me. And I'm not even really that tall. Actually, honestly, to tell the truth, I think I'm close to 6 foot, but I'm not 6 foot. I might be 6 foot. Who knows? I don't think I don't think it looks like I'm 6 foot, but I'm probably not. I'm not even close. I'm I don't know. I mean, I just know that I'm tall, but I don't think I'm not. I know I'm not 6 foot. Maybe I am. Maybe they messed up on my papers or something when they took my height. Who knows? I don't know. I'd have to measure myself, and I'm pretty sure that the measuring tape or whatever I measure myself with, that like for the height, it'll probably tell me I'm 6 foot, which I wouldn't be surprised if I am 6 foot, which I probably am 6 foot. So I don't even go and get into it like that and just try to be to the point where I'm worried about all that. And I know like a lot of people ask where you're from, what do you do for a living? What I do for a living part is really not even a concern. If I was more worried about telling you what I did for a living, I would have to know you really, really well for me to tell you what I do for a living. And that's something that, you know, is just not an ideal conversational thing to talk about with me. So I wouldn't even go like down that road with me. I wouldn't even I wouldn't even persist to, even answer that. I'd just change the subject and talk about something else because I think that that's something that, I would probably tell somebody over time and not just right off the bat what I did. And I mean, if they feel free to tell me what they do for a living, that's fine. I mean, I'm cool with you telling me if you want, but I mean, I don't feel like I'm obligated to tell you what I do for a living when I'm not obligated to tell you. I don't owe you any explanations or any answers to what I do for a living. It's if I do what I do for a living, you pretty much. I mean, if you know me pretty well, you probably already know what I do. So yeah, I mean, it's not a whole big deal of me, of you being worried about if I'm making good. I don't see the whole deal about who cares if somebody works or not. Who cares if they have a lot of money? Who cares, I mean, it's a part to a certain extent that you do have to care of having money, because you do got to pay your bills and pay things that you do have to pay, like your phone bill and all that. That is a concern. But when it comes to having a conversation, who cares if you get paid more than I do or I get paid more than you? Who cares? I mean, that shouldn't even be a topic. I mean, it doesn't matter who makes more than who or who's better than who, or I don't understand all that. And as far as I'm concerned, it doesn't bother me if anything beyond that, gets said to me. It's like, yeah, the only thing that we should be worried about is getting to know each other and not worried about where we work or how much money we make, or if I own a car, or if I own my own place, or I live with my parents, which I don't live with my parents. Trust me, I couldn't do it. I'd They drive me crazy. I know my kids live with me, and I'm pretty sure that they probably feel the same way. As soon as they get ready to be able to move out, they're gonna be like, "Yes, I get away from this old man. He's always complaining." Nah, I don't complain. I just tell them that they need to get certain things done, and then they just look at me. They're like, "Okay, we'll do it," and then they just stop doing it 5 minutes after I walk away, and then I come back in the next 10 minutes. I'm like, "You didn't even do nothing." They're like, "Yeah, we did. See, I moved that." I'm like, "Man, you just moved one thing. What are you talking about?" But I'm probably too lenient on my kids. I probably need to be a little more, you know, a little tougher on them. But I'm too lenient. I didn't have that growing up. I didn't have no leniency, like where if you got in trouble, they were lenient. No, there was no lenient in my life. There was, you're in trouble, and you're gonna be in trouble if you don't do what I tell you to do, type of trouble. And back then, it wasn't against the law to whoop your kids like it is today. Trust me. And I know when I was growing up, if they told me to go get a switch, I just look at them like, "You can go get the switch, but I ain't going to get it." And by the time they went and got the switch, I was gone. But I had to pay for it when I got home. So, that switch part was like, they'll be sitting there waiting for you to come back, and they going to get you with the switch one way or another. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't get whooped with no switch. Maybe a belt. Now that hurts as well. No, I've been whooped with a switch. Now the switch hurts. Probably not as bad as the belt. Well, no, the belt doesn't hurt as bad as the switch. I'd rather take the belt over the switch any day. But when you're a kid, you do things that are wrong. You get in trouble. You get a whooping, and you learn from the mistakes not to do it again. But man, I got in trouble a lot growing up. Apparently, even when I was like, my mom had this one guy that she married. He grounded me every time he turned around, I was grounded. I'm like, what did I do? But I think he was just having a bad day all the time, and he felt bad about himself. I never let that bother me. I did what I wanted to do anyway, regardless. Not in a bad way though. Well, maybe I don't know. Maybe I even when my mom grounded me, I still left the house and did what I wanted to do. So yeah, probably I was a bad kid. I didn't care if I was grounded or not. I'm leaving the house. I'm not sitting in this room all day, not doing nothing. I was outside every day. And then boom, and then this COVID stuff comes, and then you're stuck in it. You got to be told that there's a curfew. You got to be in the house at a certain time because all the stores and this and that are closing at a certain time. I'm like, man, this sucks. This really, really, really sucks that you got to be stuck in the house. So I opened up my curtains and sat in the window and looked and watched everything that was going on. Yeah, I don't know. It was weird having to be stuck in the house. And then as soon as I got that, as soon as they was like, you can go out, you can move around, do this and that, I still went out. and went grocery shopping because I had to go grocery shopping. Didn't matter as long as I had a mask to put on. I still went grocery shopping. I ain't gonna lie, I still went grocery shopping. And at first, when all this started, I wasn't even I wasn't even concerned about wearing a mask until they say you were supposed. And now it's mandated to where you got to wear one when you go into the grocery store. So yeah, so you might not see this whole part right here. This whole part right here, you might not see, but you might see my eyes. I think I got some nice brown eyes. If you look into them, I think you might be amazed and dazzled by my eyes. I don't know. I'm just kidding. I'm just talking now. I'm just talking, you know. I'm just saying whatever comes to mind. And, I'm weird like that. And here, pretty much sometimes if you're friends with me on Facebook and I know you and I see you inside the store and I walk past you, don't take offense to it. You just have to wave at me. And then if you wave at me, I might stop and be like, "Oh, hey, what's up? How you doing?" I'm weird like that. You gotta wave at me because I assume if you don't wave at me or say hi to me, I'm assuming you just don't want me to approach you. So I keep walking. I'm weird. I'm telling you, I'm a weirdo like that. If you don't say hi to me or wave at me, I will not say nothing. I'll just keep walking. I might wave, but I won't. I'll just wave. That's about all you'll get from me, and I'll just keep walking. I'm like, how I am is like what goes through my head. If somebody sees me and they just look at me and they don't say hi or wave at me, I'll wave, but I'll just keep walking. I just assume you don't feel like talking or you don't want to conversate. I'm just that type of person, you know, especially when we're in the store and you don't say nothing. I'm just going to keep walking. I'll wave. That's about all you'll get from me if I wave. And normally that's all I do because nobody really talks to me when I'm in the store. I don't even think they know it. Excuse me. I don't even think they know it's me when I'm in the store because all they really see is just my eyes and then the rest of my face is covered. But the only way to know that it's me is if you see me with this cross on because it's always hanging over my jacket. So that's a good way to know that I am who I am when you see me. I think that's how everybody knows me is from my cross and then the way I wear it, which is like, probably weird for most people the way I wear it. But I mean, I like it like this. I got different color ones. They're not real like this one is. The other ones are plastic, like see through plastic crosses. And I love them just as much as, I love this. And the only reason why I wear this is because my son gave it to me, my second oldest son. So I wear this just because he gave it to me. And he's always giving me stuff. And I'm like, man, I was like, this is cool. I was like, this first thing he gave me that he was actually excited to give to me. I was like, wow. So I wear it every day because he gave it to me. And, I wouldn't have it any other way. If my other two gave me crosses to wear, I'd wear all three of them. And here, yes, I have three kids, three teenage boys, matter of fact. And here I always have women tell me that boys are hard to raise because they have boys. And I'm like, I was like, it was pretty easy for me because I'm a dude. It's easy for me to be like, hey, look here. You do this because you're a boy. So, it was easier to raise boys. If I had girls, I'd probably be mad and crazy. I'm going to be that dad that's sitting there harassing and threatening little boys. So, that's just the thing that I could say to you. I mean, I really literally would be harassing every boy my girl brought home, but I don't have girls. It's probably a good thing I don't have girls. So that's good. So, I'm not I'm not too big on the whole, you know, having girls. And it's probably a good thing I don't have girls. I don't think I need girls. And that, yeah, that would probably be bad for me because I don't need girls. I really don't. I really don't. I really, really, really don't need girls because I'm going to be sitting there when they go to prom. Boy, what's your intentions with my daughter? And I'll be like, if you ever watched Bad Boys, and the boy Reggie comes to pick up the daughter, and here he's like, I'm her Uncle Mike. So remember what you do to her, I'm gonna do to you. I was like, man, you can't. I wouldn't say it like that, but I'd just be like, whatever you do to my daughter, I'm gonna get you. But I'm just, I don't know. I'm glad I ain't got girls. I feel for them dudes that have daughters because daughters, man, you really gotta worry about them. I worry about my boys. I ain't gonna lie, I worry about my boys, but they know better not to do what they're not supposed to do. So, that's something that I can give them credit for, that they know better. And if I wouldn't do it, I don't expect them to do it at all. So, it is what it is with boys. But girls, man, you got to worry about them. Not unless they're a tomboy. Now they can handle themselves. I know some dads raise their girls like little boys. Them are tom girls right there. Them girls are tough. Don't mind my little accent. That's my little southern accent coming out. It probably sounds like that the whole time I'm talking. I don't know. Who knows? Nah, I probably been living in the city too long. I probably done lost my southern accent. But normally I have a southern accent. I know when I first moved out here, my southern accent was strong. I went into the store to go get something one time. I was like, I need some neck bones, please. She's like, what'd you say? Oh, I repeated myself 3 times when I was in the store. I'm like, I was like, why is it that I gotta repeat myself 3 times to you, lady? I was like, I asked you if I could get some neck bones and some ham hocks. And then this is when I was still with the kids' mom. She was like, she got mad. She was like, he just said he wanted neck bones and some ham hocks. Yeah, but that was like the first time I ever seen her say anything to anybody from the way I talked, and she understood everything I was saying. I was like, wow. I was like, at least you understand what I'm saying. I was like, if they can't understand what I'm saying, I was like, then there's something wrong. And I've been out here for like 10 years now. Now I'm divorced, single. Probably stay single. Who knows? I'm just not ready. Well, at one point I thought I was ready to date, but then I thought about it and I was like, no, I'm not ready because I still got issues that I'm still working out with certain things, which eventually one day I'll come to terms with it. And I mean, there's just a lot that, I got on my plate as well. So I just don't take an effort to do what I'm supposed to do as dating wise or whatever. I don't put myself out there like that. And I feel like why should I? It's not nobody's fault. It's my fault because I'm not ready to do all that. Apparently, if I don't try, so I'm not trying, so I'm just not probably ready for that. And eventually, maybe one day I might be. I'll eventually probably be ready for it one day before I get too old. And then I'll just grow old and dusty and lonely and turn to dust on my own without anybody sitting next to me. But it'll be all right. I'll eventually, be ready one of these days, maybe. Who knows? And here it takes the right person to come into your life to to be in that mood or spirit, and be moved to actually want to date somebody. So who knows? And here, I mean, I'm more into making friends with everybody than I am anything. So, but I went off topic of what I was talking about, but It's all good. Ain't nobody looking or listening anyway. So that's pretty good. No, it's not good. I want everybody to be influenced, and me being able to encourage somebody to do and follow their dreams, like I said somewhat at the beginning. So I mean, even on the radio station when it was like about to be close to Valentine's Day, I was trying to encourage you to go out and just walk up to somebody and ask them out on a date, because I know most people are looking for a date before Valentine's Day and want to spend the day with somebody on Valentine's Day. So why not encourage somebody to go out and just walk up to a girl that they're attracted to and they're interested in and ask them out on a date? I mean, you ain't got to make it a romantic thing. Just ask them out on a date. Be like, would you like to go out with me? It's not that hard. And I just don't walk up to anybody and say that anyway, even though I know I could. It's just that, like I said just a few minutes ago, I'm not ready for that yet, apparently, because I have a lot on my plate and there's just things that I'm still working on to get everything to where I want it to be. So, like I said, eventually, maybe one day. But I still encourage people, if you're interested in a girl and you want to talk to them, best thing for you to do is step up, pull your big boy pants up, and walk up to them and be like, hello, and tell them what your name is and be like, I'd like to take you out if you're interested, you know? But I don't know. I don't know how that works these days with the whole dating scene most of the time. I'm old fashioned. And even if I was going to date, I want to do dinner and conversation. And it's not all about the other stuff. It's about getting to know you and talk and conversate, because communication is key to everything. So remember that. But I guess since I done been on here for a while, and I know I've been on here for like an hour and 11 minutes, so I pretty much probably should just, call it a day and call it the end of this video and let y'all get back to doing whatever it is that you're doing and enjoying yourself, and hoping you cooked out and had a nice dinner and you're enjoying your day with your kids, or your kids are enjoying their day and they're staying safe and they're staying, you know, out of trouble and they're not getting in trouble with you. And, you're not having to, get mad at them or whatever, and telling them, like, hey, you need to stop being loud or whatever. Kids can get a little rambunctious and get a hold of some sugar or whatever and bounce from wall to wall. And I know my kids used to bounce off the wall, but they got a hold of candy. They were like, bing, 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 bing. It was like playing pinball in my house when all three of my kids got a hold of candy. They're bouncing off of everything. And I know my oldest one, when he was little, man, boy, did he like to climb up on top of stuff. Woo. Man, one time I was still asleep. This boy climbed up on the dresser somehow. I don't know how he got on the dresser. I think he was like 2 when he climbed up on the dresser. This boy got up on the dresser, jumped off the dresser, and did a wrestling move on me. He body slammed himself on top of me. I'm like, oh my goodness. On my head. On my head while I was asleep. I'm like, what are you doing? I was like, why are you jumping off of stuff? He's just laughing, thinking it's funny. He thought it was funny. I'm like, oh my goodness. I was like, this boy's crazy. And then he's just teaching the second oldest one how to do it. And he's doing it next. I'm like, oh my goodness. I'm going to get beat up by all 3 of my kids one of these days. But, no, I'm not. But they used to jump off of everything. I'm like, oh my goodness. You tell them not to do it, 5 minutes later, they redid it again. They really did it again in like another 5 minutes. You tell them that's your fault. That's why you're crying. You shouldn't have did it. And then they just go back and do it again. Boys. I don't know if girls are like that, but I'm pretty sure once girls do it one time, they learn faster than boys. So boys just repeatedly keep doing the same thing over and over until they eventually give up on it. And then they're like, nope, no more. Can't do it no more. But I've been on here long enough. talking to myself pretty much eventually. Or actually, I'm just been talking to myself. So it seems like I don't know how many people probably listened, joined in, looked in, and was like, "Oh man, this guy's still talking. Why don't he hurry up and get off?" But I don't know. I'm trying to, encourage y'all to follow me on the social media platforms and my website. Like I said, it was www dot from the crow's nest, all small case letters. I'm pretty sure if you put it in all capital, it might work. But then it's .com to get to my website, which, like I was gonna say, is you can actually comment on that as well. And I haven't wrote anything on the blog yet. I'm eventually gonna get to it. I'm just trying to think of something creative to say before I do it. I have put like welcome to my first post on there, but I'm trying to think of something creative to put next. Or well, I'm just thinking of something to say. Basically, I just don't want to just put any old thing on there and just go with it. But I'm wanting to say something that's interesting and get you guys involved in the listening to the radio station and follow me on Facebook and follow me on YouTube. Yeah, so one thing is you might follow me on Facebook. And then the other thing is you might follow me on YouTube. And if you don't follow me on YouTube, you can. It's DJ Crow. And then if you're looking at the YouTube video while this is playing, then you can find me on Facebook as Michael Crow Sr. It's all entirely up to you on what social media you want to follow me on, because you can follow me on Instagram as well. I mean, I got Instagram. I just been on here talking to myself. I figured why not? I don't think anybody wants to listen to it anyway. I'm not a very interesting fella, and I just do what I feel like doing at the moment. And if I feel like doing it, I just do it. There's no working around it. There's no wandering around it. There's no stumbling on it. I just do it. So, like my podcast, I know, like I said, that's on Symphony. You can find that on Symphony. It's From the Crow's Nest with DJ Crow. And, pretty much like I said, I'm going to try to continue to do a lot more of these videos. And most of these videos, if I do it, it'll be a podcast episode video. So, it doesn't take me a whole lot of time, to come up with content to talk about. But most of the time, I just go off the top of my head, or I might have some stuff that I'm going to talk about, but then I get swayed off from it a little bit and start talking about something else. It's not that I have a short attention span. It's just that, it's like, man, I feel like sometimes if it's just me in the room, I could just talk about something else. And as long as I'm not talking to myself and answering myself, I guess I'm not crazy. But apparently, the whole time I've been talking, I've just been talking to myself. And I'm listening to myself. I'm not answering myself, but I'm talking to myself pretty much basically. And if I was talking to myself and answering questions at the same time, I probably would be crazy. But that's not necessarily like a whole thing, Sometimes people do talk to themselves and answer themselves, but I don't know what goes through their head, or even most of the time. But I mean, a lot of people do talk to themselves. There's nothing wrong with that. It's probably just a thing, man. They probably just thinking about things that they forgot or they need to do or they got to get done, or it might be like an appointment that they need to get to. And I mean, I know kids do it a lot. They talk to themselves because most of the time there's nobody like another kid around to talk to or play with or have fun, or maybe they might play video game and they might be talking to themselves, but they're really trying to talk to their parent. And sometimes I know my kids have did that to me. They'd be playing a video game and I'm thinking they're talking to themselves, but they're over here trying to talk to me, and I done got up and moved on them. And then they look over, oh, I was talking to you, Dad. I was like, oh man, my bad. I didn't know you was talking to me. So, I I accidentally did that to my kids a few times. Not unless I'm playing a video game with them, and I know I've did the same thing to my kids. I'll be sitting there playing a video game, and I'll be like, "Did you see what I just did? That was cool, wasn't it?" And here, they just got up and went upstairs, and I didn't even notice. And I'm like, "Oh well, I guess I'm just talking to myself. I'm talking to thin air." you know. So it happens. I mean, we do it to each other. We just avoid. We just walk off from each other. They do it to me. I do it to them. I mean, what is it? It's not a big deal. It just happens most of the time. But I don't know. Like I said, though, I'm gonna try to do more of these, and I'm gonna try to be persistent on it. And I know I do. Like I said at the beginning of this, I do talk on the radio in the morning sometimes if I have time to do it. Most of the time, I just wait until like later on during the evening to do it. But most of the time, I try to do it from 10 to 11. I try to talk on it for an hour. So that way I still have time in between that hour to like chill after that. And then it'll be time for me to spin around and go get my kids and then come back home. And then I'll do my podcast. So that way I'm constantly doing something and I'm just not, doing one thing all the time. So now, since me saying that, I'm doing this right here to interact with you and let you know there were certain things that I do got up and I got going, like the Spotify I did yesterday. Or yeah, I did yesterday. The Spotify got done yesterday, and well, I had the podcast that I did get up and ready to go on. Now now I forgot what the name of it was. Spotify. I'm just kidding. I knew what the name was. I just wanted to mess with you a little bit. But no, Spotify. I did it Sunday, but I had set it up to where it released yesterday. Or yeah, no, I did it Saturday, and I had it where it released on Sunday at a certain time. So that'll be one thing that you'll be able to look forward to. I'll have them set up to a certain specific time and day that I want them to air. And then, like this right here, I'd have to like create the event and what day I want to do these, and then put it on Facebook. And then you'll be able to like go from there, or you'll be able to watch it on Facebook, or you'll be able to watch it on YouTube. But and then like the radio station, it took me a great while to think about what I wanted to do and how I wanted to set up the website that I wanted to get and have up. So I got that, which that was a cool thing. Now it's easier for you to find me, and it makes it easier for you guys to interact with me on there as well. So you'll be able to like comment, view, and you'll be able to listen in. I think if you can see this video, you know that I got a picture sitting like kind of in front of me. That's my logo. So I think it's a cool logo. It's a crow coming out of a nest. So that was like the coolest thing that I've ever seen. So like I said, my last name is Crow. I went for the whole crow image thing. So I'm living up to my name still, regardless either way it goes. I don't. I mean, I think it's a pretty cool logo. I like it. I might actually think of something to say and put that on a shirt. So I'll probably eventually have clothing and do that as well. I'm not for sure, but I mean, I would like. I mean, I do have a teesprings.com store, where you can order DJ Crow shirts, masks, hats, cups, phone cases, things like that. And there's even women's leggings, even though I I got women's leggings. I think the one thing that I do need to do is I'm probably going to change like the whole legging thing on the women's pants and probably put it down the side of their leg and not on their behind, which is which I mean most guys look right there anyway at their booty. So why not put the name right there? But I think it'd be better off to have it on the legs or whatnot. You can always order the DJ Crow stuff off of teesprings.com. And, I do have, it is where you can order, like, the black and blue letters and the black and blue sweater with the letters and the whole symbol or whatever on it. And then there's the mask, which I'm really proud of. And then there's the shirts, even though I don't know, I haven't checked on it in a while. I don't know how many people have probably purchased sweater shirts, hats, or, certain things. I need to probably check on that. And which that's where I'll end up having stuff like this to go with it. Like for the podcast and for the the radio station as well. I think it's something nifty to say with the logo. I might not even use this logo. I might just use something else that's more interest. This is my logo is interesting to me. I don't know how it's interesting to everybody else, but I don't know if I'm going to use this or I'm going to use something else, or maybe I might just use words. Who knows? I'm still thinking about it, and I'm still figuring out what direction I want to go with new clothing, as well as I'll probably change some of the DJ Crow stuff as well, and we'll see what happens from then on. I've been doing a lot of processing and thinking and getting everything organized and what I want to do and how I want to go about doing it. And sometimes, like I said, I get sidetracked just like any other human being does. And I'm not always persistently on time sometimes with this stuff. Or, like, it depends on, sometimes I might have some difficulty malfunctions with the computers or uploading something, but it's not a bad thing. It takes me a little longer to get it up and get it going and out and pushed out, for people to see. Like this right here, this is probably like the easiest thing that I got that I can do, because everybody can just join in by looking and watching what I'm saying and see what I'm saying while I'm saying it live. Maybe that might be the one thing that I might do eventually too. I might actually take and do a whole, like, talk on the radio and do a whole live video as well while I'm talking on the radio. But I'll probably decide and think and figure out what it is that I'm going for and when I want to do it. So, that might be pretty cool to do too. Do a video along with the radio show or the radio show going on. I don't know yet, but we'll figure it out. I'll get it figured out. But like I said, I think that I've been on here long enough, annoying you guys and getting all you guys' nerves. And I know you guys are probably ready for me to get off, because you're like, man, he talks too much. He's still on he's still on here making a video talking. He talks too much. No, I'm just kidding. I know I don't talk too much. I just, want people to be aware that, I have certain things that you can follow and you can listen in on. And there's podcasts, which you already knew I did the podcast, but there's the radio station and the website that I wanted to talk about and make known that I have one, and the Spotify with the podcast, the episodes on there. And I might put the videos on there as well. So that'd be something that you can be able to look forward to or look forward to seeing on there as well. So, there's a lot of things that I'm working on, and I'm trying to proceed to push out and get ready to get done. And I still have a podcast episode that I need to get done, and I'll get that set up and get it set out to be, on a certain time and date for y'all to hear, and that would be on Spotify. So you'll be able to listen to it. Maybe I might do a video with it, who knows? I'm not for sure yet, but there will be some videos, and that'll be one thing that I'll be able to do. So I'll start doing that eventually. Well, this right here is an intent, for me to let you know, to be aware that I'm going to start doing videos a little more often and try to be persistent with it and try to engage you guys into what I'm doing and letting you guys know when I'm gonna do it and when I'm gonna go live or when I'm gonna do a radio talk show or when I'm gonna do a podcast or when I'm gonna start letting you know more before I do it. I'm gonna start setting events for live videos so that way you guys know and I'm just not uploading it just like that and not letting anybody know and being aware that I'm doing videos. So this is a whole new thing. Like I said, you can see the microphone. I got a little mixing board over here that I'm using to talk through so y'all can hear the video a little better. And, like I said, there's things that I'm working on and I'm growing on or trying to grow to make things better and be persistent with this to make it more controllable and more, you know, aware and surroundable so everybody can at least know and follow and listen to the things that, I have going on and I'm doing. And I don't know, but like I said, I know I've been talking to myself for the past half an hour or an hour and a half. And I probably should just be like, you guys have a great rest of your evening and stay blessed, and I mean, I just, I hope I'm, getting you to being willing to follow me on this whole journey. And like I said at the beginning of this, I wouldn't mind to have you on here as a guest or a guest speaker or a host. That's something that, I'm working on. And I would like to interact with you more and get to know you a little more better. And if we got to do it this way and talk on the radio or a podcast or do a video podcast, that's even better. I'd be willing to do that with you. And I mean, this is helping me grow as I'm helping you get out there a little more and we're having a conversation, either if it's on the radio show or if it's a video podcast or if it's just a regular podcast. Hey, come join me. Let's do this thing. You can always message me and let me know if you're willing to do a podcast video or a podcast or talk on the radio with me. It's entirely up to you when you're free. All you got to do is take the time to message me and let me know that you are interested in doing one with me. I mean, it's up to you which one you want to pick to do, and we can do that thing. It's all up to you. And it's always up to you, and the only thing I can do is be like, I don't have time or I have time this day, or, it's basically, so say if you message me and you say you want to do a podcast or a podcast video or talk on the radio with me, excuse me about that, it's more that it's up to you to know when you have free time and when you're available to do it with me. Because pretty much I can always move something around if that's the only free time you have to do it with me. So I can make time around that to do a podcast video with you or, talk on the radio or just do a regular podcast with you. I can move things around. So that way, I can do that with you. All you got to do is just reach out to me and let me know that you're interested in being a guest and talking on the podcast with me and doing a video podcast with me or talking on the radio. It just takes simple communication to talk to me. The one for you to be like, hey, can I talk on the radio with you? Or can I do a video podcast with you? Or can I do a podcast with you? It's as simple as that. Just communicate and I'll answer you and I'll find out what day you're free and when you have free time to do it. It's all on your schedule of what you have free and when you're able to do it. It's not up to me to be like, hey, you can do it, you can come through this day. But it's more important that I know if you have like a certain time and day that you can do it, so that way you let me know and then I'll be like, yeah, let's do it that day and that'll work and that'll be perfect. And then you just let me know and then I'll tell you to come to my house and I'll have it set up to where, we're not in this room, but we're in a different room, and we can do either a video podcast, regular podcast, or talk on the radio. It's up to you. Like I said, it's intentionally up to you when you have free time. That's the main important most thing, is I know that I can't just pick a day and a time. I'd rather you pick a day and a time when you're more available and you have the time, that you're able to come through and do one with me. It's not for me to I don't want you to like go to work and have to work around the schedule on certain things that you like doing or you want to do, but it's like more and less that you're able and you find like whatever day that you have free or the time and day that you're free to do like certain things and you're able to do it. That'd be better for you to tell me like that and message me on if you want to do one or not, and then we'll go from there. And if not, if I don't have time, like I said at the beginning or like halfway through this, I can't remember where I said it at, but if I don't have time, I'll just be like, is there any other day that you can do that you're free? And if you say yeah, then that'll work perfect. But it just takes a simple message and to communicate with me and let me know. That's all it takes. You just got to reach out to me, and don't worry, I do reply. I always reply. So that's one thing you don't have to worry about. If there's something important that you want to talk about, or you want to get known, for people to know something that's important or it needs to be known, this is the best way to do it. Is right here with me. You know, I mean, I can't like just I don't want to just pick anybody or be like, I pick you to do a video podcast with me, or I pick you to do a radio show with me, or I pick you to do a regular podcast with me. But I mean, it's up to you. I mean, I would like for you to just message me. Feel free to, and let me know if you want to do any of the video podcasting or the regular podcasting or a radio show with me. This, like I said, it takes you to reach out to me and let me know when you're available, when you have free time. And if you don't want to come over and do it with me like right here, I'll set it up to where we can do it like this and you can be seen though. So that's one thing you don't have to worry about. So just know that I'll work out whatever I got to work out. If you want to do a podcast video or a podcast or a radio talk show with me, and I'll work whatever I got to work out for you to join me and, do it with me. So, like I said, I'm going to get up off of here. And like I said, you guys enjoy the rest of your evening and have a great evening. And hopefully you had a great day, but you have a great evening and a great rest of your night. And stay blessed.